Hello and welcome to Bengal Banter. I'm Ryan Durant, and Bengal Banter is produced by college students on the campus of Idaho State University. Today, we will be discussing the adventures that some of our students at ISU had at Yellowstone National Park this past summer break. I have with me Jason, what is that, Churba, and Kyler Michaelson.
Yep.
Okay, it's nice to have you two on the show. So what brought you to this adventure at Yellowstone?
Me and Kyler were in a studio photography class, and our instructor, Dr. Omi, approached us in the class about a possible trip to Yellowstone. He had the pretty much everything kind of written out. The students didn't really need to do a whole ton. It was just kind of more of a, are you interested? Start fundraising now type of deal.
So what was the overall goal for this trip?
I feel like what we really wanted to do is to come together and try to form a community in the department. My experience in the department, everybody sort of passed each other in the halls or in the studio, but we didn't really get together after class. And so this trip was an opportunity to kind of make some friendships and form more of a community.
Okay, so would you say, so how much like skill set was this coming into this trip? Was there like a lot of skill throughout the entire group, or was there some beginners, some veterans?
I think there's definitely a pretty wide spectrum of skill level. A lot of the individuals from our class were generally more in the higher end of school, juniors, seniors. But we also had a few that came along that were just starting out into the program or video, whatever it was that they were kind of starting out with. But yeah, definitely a nice wide spectrum of skill levels.
Okay, and did you like help teach anyone? Were you more of the mentor or the mentee?
Kind of hard to say.
Okay, kind of a mix?
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a mix. I can't really say that I went out and was a mentor, but maybe by doing something, somebody saw something and was able to kind of get an idea.
Okay, a teacher by proxy with the others. Okay, so would you be willing to do this trip again?
Yeah, definitely. That was a great time.
Okay. Now, we actually have a footage of that trip taken by these guys, so let's go and take a look at that right now. We sent a team of beginners in filmmaking, along with the aid of veterans, to try and hone their skills at Yellowstone National Park. Our veterans will try and teach what they can to our aspiring filmmakers. But it will not be a simple walk in the park for our beginners. Our beginners are going to need to take risks, experience failure, and set their standards high and go beyond their physical limits for that perfect shot and try to gain the acceptance of their superiors. It's going to be a hard and dangerous road for them, but getting that shot is going to be worth it. Filmmakers start to hash out a plan, looking for that best possible angle. Crew's abuzz with excitement and can't wait to begin filming. Along their journey, they come across a herd of buffalo and simply have to take a moment to appreciate their sheer beauty. After a momentary pause, the team sets out to continue their work. Their hard work has come victorious, gaining themselves excellent imagery of nature that the park has to offer. This even gained some praise from one of the veterans. a successful day, the team captures a shot of their victory and heads out to capture more that Yellowstone National Park has to offer. Well then, that was just some lovely footage, and you guys all took that.
Yes.
Yeah, we noticed that you actually made some scenes in there too. So what'd you think about that?
Hey, it's just bringing back good memories.
Good memories? Yeah. With all those, I saw that you were actually running all around that park too. Like, what was like a part that you liked the most about that?
I'd have to say my favorite part, but also one of the more challenging areas, was the Grand Prismatic Pool. It was cool because there was unexpected opportunities to take shots, but the shot that I really wanted to take was impossible because they won't allow you off the trail. So it was, on the one hand, it was a great experience to deal with unexpected circumstances and get a good creative outcome.
Right.
While at the same time facing the disappointment of not being able to accomplish my plan.
Yeah.
So.
Now, what was that plan exactly?
Well, it was crazy. My overly ambitious plan would have been to be 60 feet in the air and aiming straight down at the pool, which obviously is not a feasible plan, but it was definitely...
Yeah, it's definitely one of those shots that would have looked great.
It would have been a great shot, yeah.
I saw that was you, Jason, that was crawling around on the floor there.
Yeah, kind of took the approach of low angle
Yeah.
during the trip, so was a lot of laying on the ground, looking up at things.
So what can you tell me about like the journey with just everyone in general? Like, how did they act? Like, what was it was a bonding experience. Can you tell me about that?
I thought everyone got together real well. A lot of excitement and enthusiasm for the trip. I know Color was talked with me about just like our base camp and how we were able to kind of come together. Like the start of the trip, I didn't really know a few of the members that we had, but by the end of the trip, just was spending time with them and hanging out. Definitely got to know them at a more deeper personal level.
Okay. And vacations like these, or like, well, trips like these always have some sort of shenanigans or some adventurous thing that's just hilarious to reminisce about. Is there anything like that?
There was a moment where we were at one of the attractions where they have the boardwalks, and there's signs posted everywhere telling you, stay on the boardwalk or else you'll be boiled alive. And just so happens that there was a lady who wasn't with our group, luckily. She was a tourist who was like, you know what, I want a selfie with this geyser. And she just went trooping across right out off the boardwalk, and we turned around as a group and noticed this right about the exact same time that people just came screaming like it was like a life or death situation and creating a lot of commotion. And that was our first day there, so it was kind of like, wow, they do not play around with these boardwalks and with the signs. This is some serious business. That was pretty comical.
Wow, that sounds like one of those intense moments. That's tourists are never the smartest ones that coming out. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So, what can you tell me about the place that you stayed during this trip? Was it suitable? Would you go there again?
Yeah, from the description that we had beforehand, I was expecting it to be just kind of a bunkhouse, really uncomfortable and smelly. But when we got there, it was a pleasant surprise. The place was actually really modern and clean and big, expansive, and had an awesome little common area and a kitchen where we could hang out after a hard day hiking around, getting shots.
Yeah, and how long was this trip? It was a 4-day trip?
5 days in total.
Yeah, it was
Thing 4 or 5.
Okay. So was there any like particular scenes that you guys were like aiming for? Like, did you go for one more than the other, animals versus nature, sort of thing?
I think it would have been a little more fun to have ran into more animals. A lot of the things we ran into were mostly bison and a few elk. We did get lucky one day and come across a black bear, so that was pretty cool. But just due to the lack of animal sightings, I kind of really focused on the landscape and tried to capture that.
Okay. Now, I saw a lot of plains, but there was also a lot of water. Did you focus more towards the geysers, rivers, canyons?
I tried to keep some element of water in all of my landscape shots to bring kind of a life and an energy to the shot. what actually was kind of funny is I kept on a wildlife lens, hoping to see some animals. I finally became discouraged and switched over to my wide-angle landscape lens right about the time that we found the black bear. So then it was a frantic lens switch in order to get the shot, but that's about how it always has to go, it seems like.
Never ready when the interesting shots show up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Well, it looks like we're all out of time. Thanks you guys for coming. It has been a pleasure. And this is Ryan Durant at Bengal Banter, and have a great day.